I thought I would do is do a little project here in my own house. And I had actually originally ordered this as a possible artwork for the cottage bedroom. I don't know if you can see. I think it's a very beautiful print of an antique painting, and I just think it's so beautiful. When I realized that it's probably more me than an incoming tenant who wants a beach house. I get carried away with the things that I like, and I just have to think, wait, objectively, will a young person who's coming in for a beach kind of getaway, are they gonna really want to have this? Probably not. So I came to that conclusion, ordered something else for the cottage, so don't worry. This is actually a really big piece. It's made from polyester, but it feels like silk. It's very, very well made, and it's the right weight for fabric decoupage, which you know I love. It's my favorite, one of my favorite mediums to work with. I bought this vintage cabinet from Facebook Marketplace, and it's gone through a few transformations, but I think this is the final look. I never really felt a close affinity to this color for my armoire. And I know this won't really fly with everyone because you know how I love pattern, but I think of this as like standing artwork. So to me, this doesn't need to match anything. This is a standalone piece. So I hung this up on the cabinet, just in the front, you know, kind of get the first vibe. And I really liked it immediately. So I am going to actually repurpose this tapestry. They call them tapestries on the website Society 6. It's very, very affordable. This huge piece was $80. I am going to repurpose this printed fabric onto the face of this armoire. You know, funnily enough, it fits perfectly. So we've got plenty of fabric to play with. Okay, so I think I'm gonna create patterns for the sides of this armoire and then cut the fabric. There are two ways to attach this fabric onto the front of this armoire. You can use liquid starch, which I did in my kitchen cupboards, and you guys can check that out. I'll leave a link for that project. But I want to make this a little bit more durable, so I'm gonna opt to use decoupage. It will really dry hard and strong. So we've got the glue, and sorry, the drips. I am going to be faux painting some green, matching green trim up here. So I'm only going to put the fabric down here. I'm going to layer the decoupage glue onto the cabinet first, attach the fabric, smoothing out all the bubbles, and then I'll go back and layer decoupage glue on top of the fabric. I'll let that dry. Very gently, any of the folds or air bubbles. And luckily this fabric is really easy to manipulate. For something like a cabinet, I am going to use 2 layers of decoupage glue on top of the fabric itself. So far, I've decoupaged all sides except for the fronts of this cabinet. But what that means is that I have to take off the wallpaper because it no longer matches. And I'm okay with that. That's why I like these peel and stick options, because you never know when you want to change your mind. I thought this print would look really beautiful with this blue inside. So that's what I'm going to go with. I've attached the fabric for the cabinet doors, and I'm going to let those dry before I trim them. It's easier to trim when the decoupage glue dries and makes the fabric a little bit more rigid, and you can just use an X-Acto knife to get a precise cut. I think that's all I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. There are a few areas on this cabinet where I'm not going to use fabric. I'm actually going to use paint to match the fabric pattern, because it has a lot of, any areas that are going to be contacting each other and rubbing each other, like the cabinet's going to be closing on this. So I didn't want to put any fabric here. I just thought it'd be safer if I just use paint. I'll give you a good example on, so I'm going to use different paint colors to match the fabric that I'm using, and I'm mixing each color with what's called glazing medium. And glazing medium mixed with acrylic paint will make the color a little bit more transparent. So that way you can do faux painting techniques with that, and also you can layer one color over the other. That helps to create a sense of depth in the overall paint pattern. Everything has been decoupaged with at least 2 layers of decoupage. I am going to do a wet sanding. You don't always have to do this, but for furniture, like wood furniture that I'm going to use a lot, it's going to make a smooth finish on your surface and it's going to make it very durable. I use steel wool, extra fine, so it's 0000 is the grade. And then I will dip it into a little bit of water and a little bit of dishwashing soap. And the dishwashing soap only makes it glide a little smoother, so you're not going to accidentally tear the fabric. And if I get it wet, just going to be giving it a overall. And I'm not even putting any pressure on this whatsoever. Just very, very fine. You're going to get a very, very nice, smooth finish. I can already tell. The last step is to apply 1 or 2 layers of a polyacrylic sealant over the entire piece of furniture, and this way it will be nice and durable. And I do this especially with something like furniture that you'll be using and abusing, so definitely don't skip this step. I was so inspired by a recent post from House and Garden UK. They profiled a cottage kitchen decorated with a collage of plates embellished by fruits and vegetables. And I thought, wait a minute, I have access to my mother's vintage salt and pepper shaker collection, which is vast and amazing. So I made my plates decorated with her salt and pepper shakers to decorate the back of this cabinet. I thought it was such a sweet way to highlight them because I don't have room to display all the salt and pepper shakers. So using them on these thrift store plates that I'm going to hang on a wall, I thought would not take up that much storage space. And I mean, don't they look lovely? To display my plates easily, I'm using old-fashioned plate hangers and regular picture hanging hooks. And here is my homage to Asian fish dishes. I just love the eggs, the asparagus, the fish, the brioche, or the challah, and then my mom's great lobster collection, and the snow pea pods, and the Asian fish plate with all the radishes from Asia. Okay, I think we're ready to look at the final armoire china cabinet. that's it for today. If you guys only knew how much joy I get sharing my crazy ideas with you and hearing from you and getting your feedback, it really makes my day. So I hope to see you next time. Thanks for checking in at Nutshell Living for more small space tips and tricks. I'll see you next time. Bye.